Well, Brad, we've reached my favorite portion of the game show. We are going to play an actual game, and as we've been talking about your game show past, I hope all the memories have been coming back to you, as today's game, like I said before, is all about moments of your television game show career. Are you ready to play?
Yes, although this could be very embarrassing.
I hope not. This is the game of the day.
Game of the day.
And it is called Rutter Rewind. Rutter Rewind. Now, Brad, I know you know a lot about various topics, but let's see how much you know about the topic of yourself. So here's how we play Rutter Rewind. I have 4 categories in front of me. Each of them has 3 Jeopardy-style clues, and in a moment you'll pick a category and I'll read those 3 clues in order. The first one being worth 200 points, the second is worth 400 points, and the third is worth 600 points. And just like in Jeopardy, they increase in difficulty, and since they are in the form of Jeopardy clues, you must answer in the form of a question.
Got it.
I'm sure you're familiar with that.
Never heard of that before. That's interesting.
It's a brand new concept I'm trying out. Hopefully it works. So there's a total of 4 categories, and during the course of the game, you'll be able to pick and play 3 of them. And if you can accumulate 3,000 or more points from your correct questions, you will be deemed a winner.
Okay.
And just before we start, there are a couple more elements to the game. 1, there is no Jeopardy for a wrong answer, so just take a guess if you don't know it.
Got it.
And also, one of the categories is the daily double category, which means all the point values will be doubled.
Okay.
If you're ready, let's play Rutter Rewind.
Let's do it.
All right, here come the categories. And they are Brad Rutter's Big Moments, Jeopardy Ain't the Only Game Show I Was On, That Darn Watson, and finally the ever-popular Jeopardy category, Stupid Answers.
Let's start with big moments.
All right, Brad Rutter's Big Moments. Here we go. For 200 points, these were the 2 players you defeated to win the Jeopardy $1 Million Masters Tournament.
Who is Bob Verini and Eric Newhouse?
Bob Verini and Eric Newhouse are correct for 200 points. Off to a great start. For 400 points, the combined amount of money you earned in the 3 finals games of the Jeopardy Ultimate Tournament of Champions. I'll give you a $2,000 spread.
Okay. I think since it was the first 3-day final, it was briefly the record for most money won. And I want to say, what is 62,000?
You got it right on the nose, 62,000.
I seem to remember it being even, which helped.
Yes, it was 62,000. You don't even need that spread.
Yeah.
So you're up to 600 points, and this is the last clue in this category. Brad Rutter's Big Moments for 600 points. The name of this award earned you a lock during your qualifying game of the Jeopardy Battle of the Decades.
What is the Pritzker Prize?
That is correct, the Pritzker Prize. You have cleared that category. You have 1,200 points. And it's time to choose another category. Jeopardy Ain't the Only Game Show I Was On, That Darn Watson, or Stupid Answers.
Okay, let's do Stupid Answers. That's always one of my favorite Jeopardy categories.
You need 3,000 to win, and you have 1,200, so you have 1,800 points to go. This is Stupid Answers for 200 points. The answer is the amount of money you received for winning the $1 Million Masters Tournament.
What is $1 million?
Go figure. That's correct for 200.
This is why I love this category.
I know, right? And for the past few years, Jeopardy hasn't been featuring the Stupid Answers category that much, but I think they need to bring it back and fast. Don't you agree?
I agree.
So when I contact Harry Friedman, that's another point I have to make. Include more Stupid Answers. For 400 points, Jeopardy contestants should be aware that this word means exposure to or imminence of death, loss, or injury, according to Merriam-Webster.
What is Jeopardy?
Jeopardy is correct. Very good. And you're up to 1,800 points for 600 points in the category of Stupid Answers. You must have been stoked when you knew the final Jeopardy response during Game 2 of the IBM Challenge was this author.
Who is Bram Stoker?
Correct, Bram Stoker. See what I did there, Stoker?
Yeah, nice.
I am just so clever. All right, so you have 2,400 points. You only need 600 points, and you have Jeopardy Ain't the Only Game Show I Was On, or That Darn Watson, one of which is also the daily double category.
Jeopardy Ain't the Only Game Show I Was On.
Jeopardy Ain't the Only Game Show I Was On. And would you believe that that is not the Daily Double category?
Oh!
But you haven't even missed a question yet, so you might not even need the double point value clues. Now, once again, you have 2,400 points, so to win, you need to earn at least 600 points with this category.
Okay.
For 200 points, he defeated you during the quarterfinals round of GSN's Grand Slam.
Who is Ogie Ogus?
Ogie Ogus is correct for 200 points, which brings you up to 2,600. And speaking of Grand Slam, did you have fun competing in that tournament? Because I certainly had fun watching it.
Yeah, I did. I just wish there was less math.
Right, yeah, because you kind of lost the battle with Ogie because of the math category.
Actually, funnily enough, I have a little story for you. I may have actually won that match if I hadn't finished saying 3 before I said 2 to one of the math questions. In fact, we went through the rest of that round, and I got through it in probably 30 seconds. But then they played the tape back, and I actually had said 3 before I changed to 2, so they had to throw that round out, and I had to do another one. So,
Really?
which I didn't do nearly as well on.
Game show behind the scenes, I love it.
Yep, the inside info.
And for those of you who don't know or remember, Grand Slam was a tournament GSN conducted back in the summer of 2007 that pitted the top game show players of all time against each other. And the higher-ups at GSN, if you're listening to this, I think you should bring back Grand Slam because to me, that was one of the best shows you've ever produced. Anyway, I'll write to GSN about that later, but back to the task at hand. For 400 points in the category of Jeopardy Ain't the Only Game Show I was on, $1 Million Mind Game's British and white tuxedo-wearing host.
Who is Vernon Kay?
Vernon Kay is correct.
Who I still interact with on Twitter from time to time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's also the UK's #1 American football fan.
Interesting. See, the game show is a two-way street. I'll teach you a few things and you'll teach me a few things. And with that answer, that's 3,000 points. Brad, you have won Rutter Rewind.
Yes!
Congratulations. Another game that you've won at.
That wasn't nearly as embarrassing as I feared.
I don't know why you were so worried. You were 8 for 8. And in case you needed it, the 600-point clue in the category of Jeopardy Ain't the Only Show I was on would have been this. This was the numbered box you were located in during the 1 versus 100 last man standing competition.
Oh, this one's tough. I want to say either 12 or 21. I'm going to go with what is 21?
No, that was wrong.
It was wrong.
The number was also in the title of a 60s game show called the blank $1,000 question.
Ah, it was 64.
It was 64, that's right.
I had 1 and 2 in my head for some reason, but that's one I would never have remembered in a million years.
Good thing you got to 3,000 before that.
Yes.
Now, you've already won, but just for fun, because I never like to leave clues unanswered, let's try the remaining category, that darn Watson, and see how you would have done against your old friend.
If we have to.
Yes, we must. Actually, when I interviewed Ken, he tells me you and him don't like to talk about the Watson event.
No, and for obvious reasons.
Yeah. And Watson sadly led you astray once again, as that darn Watson is the Daily Double category. All right, all the point values are doubled in this category, so for 400 points in that darn Watson, the avatar representing Watson best resembles this, with 5 dashes on the top and lines swirling around it.
What is the Earth?
The Earth is correct. Yep, you got it. So now you're up to 3,400 points, and I calculated it before, and I hope I'm right. The most points you can score in this game is 6,000 because you have 3 categories worth 1,200 points each, and the Daily Double category worth 2,400. So I believe that's 6,000 total points you can score. So
That sounds right, but I will have to take your word for it.
I'm pretty sure it's 6,000. You know, I learned math from watching Wheel of Fortune, so hopefully it did well. All right, for 800 points in the category of that darn Watson. Your opponent Ken Jennings' Game 2 Final Jeopardy joke, I for one welcome our new computer overlords, was a reference to this animated series.
What is The Simpsons?
The Simpsons is correct.
And I, for one, welcome our new insect overlords.
And that brings your total to 4,200, and this last question is worth 1,200 points, which means a correct response will get you a score of 5,400 out of a possible 6,000 points. One of the 2 charities IBM donated half of the $1 million prize to by winning the Jeopardy IBM Challenge.
Oh, yeah, I don't remember. Let's say, what is the United Way?
No, it was not the United Way. It was, what is World Vision?
Oh, right, because of Alex.
Or World Community Grid.
Okay, I'd never heard of that one before or since, but I'm sure they do fine work.
But you got 4,200 points, which means you're still a winner.
Hey,
Forget all those fancy $1 million tournaments on television. You can go on radio and still win quiz shows.
All I do is win, 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 Bradley.
All you do is win, win, win no matter what. And along with that tribute to DJ Khaled, that was the game of the day, Rutter Rewind. Rutter Rewind.